Right, yes, it's me, Politic Poppy, aka Grassroots Poppy, aka Jamiroquan Kittler, and this is Politics as Usual. I'm in the building. What's happening? Milltown. What's happening? Chicago. What's happening? New York City. What's happening all across the world? What's going on? I'm in the building. Corey is in the building. Shane is in the building, and we here to bring you truth in politics from who I like to think is one of the greatest voices in politics today. That's me. Okay, I got some great things I want to talk about today, so we're gonna get right up into it. I want to talk about what's going on in the black community as far as the housing crisis. I want to address some of the shortage in jobs and income in our community as well, all across the country, and how we can address this with proper reform, proper security. Of course, I'm talking about the border. But first, in relation to the border, I want to get into Jasmine Crockett and some comments that she made before the Thanksgiving weekend took off. And I like Jasmine Crockett. All right. I'm someone who believes that politics needs young, good talent, right? Talent willing to speak up and speak their mind, no matter what they believe in and where they stand. I think that that's the American dream, especially when that person is a black woman, right? Because as I mentioned when this podcast started, there was a time where we didn't always have that voice. So I admire seeing people who look like me, who aren't as far off from age as me, having these conversations. My problem is I do not feel represented by Jasmine Crockett. What angers me is that she has a platform that is large enough and an audience that is large enough that looks up to her, and they depend on her to deliver them the information that they need, right? The facts that they need. With her being an elected official, they should be able to depend on that. Jasmine Crockett does not always deliver that. I'm going to play this clip.
About the white supremacists and how many of them need to be kicked out of this country, because I can guarantee you I can track down more crimes that they've committed, because overall immigrants have a lower crime committal rate than white supremacists.
What the fuck is she talking about? That's not true. In fact, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, they do not track crimes committed by white supremacists. Now, it's possible she could refer to hate crimes, but hate crimes are not just a white supremacy thing, right? Now, just a week before this happened, she made an accusation that an elected official had accepted a donation from Jeffrey Epstein. But the Jeffrey Epstein was not the Jeffrey Epstein that she tried to refer to. It was just a random Jeffrey Epstein from Boston. And this is the irresponsible rhetoric that I'm referring to when I talk about how Jasmine doesn't always represent me as a black man or any other black person in this country. And I think she misrepresents herself and her responsibility when she goes on television and she makes statements like this. And she does it very confidently, right? It's not like she's like humbly making these statements. Like, I don't know for sure, or maybe, or I'd guess that. She made a very blunt statement. I'll play it again.
Frankly, not who we are, because if that's the case, let's talk about the white supremacists and how many of them need to be kicked out of this country, because I can guarantee you I can track down more crimes that they've committed, because overall immigrants have a lower crime committal rate than white supremacists.
What is a crime committal rate anyways? I never went to college. Corey, did you go to college?
I did.
What is a crime committal rate?
I do not know.
All right.
I think I can figure it out from the context, but I can't say.
All right, look. I feel like politics as a whole, when it comes to black people, we feed into characters like this way too often. And we're doing it in a way where we're giving them the ammo and the confidence they need to continue to go on TV and to just say shit. And they keep doing it. For example, for over a month straight, Democrats went on TV and said, all the president has to do is open the government back up. And they kept making it seem like they weren't the reason why the government was closed. And they continued to promote that. And then I will go in the community and people would say, hey, why won't the president open up the country? It's not the president's job to open up he'll sign as soon as it gets to his desk. They're literally voting no on the clean resolution and then passing the responsibility off on somebody else. And then lying about it blatantly on TV. Us as a people, we are not educated enough. We don't do our due diligence to go and understand these things ourselves. So what do? We listen to Jasmine Crockett. And we listen to the rest of the Democrat leaders who we've elected to represent us in D.C. or in our respective state capitals. But what happens when those leaders only show us what they want us to see? They're gaslighting us. And because we are very trusting and caring and loving, that's black people overall, we continue to let them get away with it. And they look like us and they come from where we come from. And so ain't no way they do us wrong. Every chance that they get, and that's any politician in government, that's not just the left, it's the right too. They want you to see what they want you to see. What Jasmine Crockett is not telling you is that a lot of the people who are being swept up in these raids are criminals. Now look, I'm someone who believes that our immigration system is complicated. It needs to be reformed. It is very difficult for someone to get here. And it's probably Americans that wouldn't pass that test to get over here. Let's just keep it a buck. Like, you know, I don't know who the 13th president was. I'm here. I don't know who the 13th president is. These are the things that some people are meant to left to answer, to know upon coming into this country. The other thing is the backup. The system's really backed up. There's not enough judges taking on these immigration cases. People can't get through the system fast enough. There is reform that needs to be done. But immigration is a problem. It's a big problem. And it is leading to crime in a lot of areas. And you can tell that it's leading to crime because as these people are being swept out of the country, the crime is coming down in some of these areas. The numbers are the numbers. You know what I'm saying? And we can sit here and play favorites all we want to. I ain't got no problem with Jose and Hector or none of them guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the south side every day, baby. You know what I mean? I ain't no stranger to nobody. But the facts is the facts. I want to keep the good ones. I want to get rid of the bad ones. Now, if you're telling me that it's innocent people being swept up in these ICE raids, as this is what this conversation that Jasmine Crockett is having is about, right? Is she starts this entire ridiculous statement by telling a story about an innocent woman who was a citizen of this country being swept up and rough-housed or handled roughly by ICE. If that's the case, that's fucked up. Okay? If that's not the case, if this person was simply in an area and probably being profiled, you have your identification, show it, dip off. When I was in high school and we used to skip school and they used to see us, the police, they'd stop us. Can I get your ID? Sometimes we tell them no, because technically, I guess you don't got to show it to them. It depends. If we smoked weed before we went to go skip school, then we probably wasn't showing the fucking ID. Okay? But if you're a citizen, then it's nothing. Right? If you're being harassed, then we should do something about that. But if you're a citizen and all you got to do is identify yourself, then it is what it is. I don't think it's a big deal. But politicians have to stop getting on cameras and microphones and just telling lies. We have to get to the point where we, as individuals, as the voters, leave ourselves responsible to fact check the things our leaders are telling us as well. I'm someone who believes in God. I believe in the Lord greatly. Right? It's been spoken many a times that our leaders, those with power, they will do harm. Right? A lot of it is drowning in evil. These guys in politics, they're no good. We can't just trust them blindly. All of these millions of dollars that they spend on one vote, you leave all that power to just them? Your power. The founding fathers, they created this country hoping to escape what was looked at as bad leadership. There are no kings and queens here. That's what this country was built for. Right? It was built so that we had independence and we could think how we wanted to think and we could feel how we wanted to feel, and no one would lock us up for doing so. And they give us all of that power, and what do we do with it? We just lend it out blindly. So when we decide to take our power back, I believe you'll probably get a much different government. One that listens to his people. One that responds to the outcry of suffering and pain. One that will not lock you in your house and tell you not to enjoy Thanksgiving with your family. One that will make sure it takes care of the people here in this country before it takes care of anything else. Which leads me to my next conversation. The median income for black families in America is under $60,000 a year. It's not a lot of money. As a matter of fact, in today's economy, you damn near poor making $60,000 a year. Okay. Latino, Hispanic median income in this country is over $70,000 a year. Now, some might ask, why is that important? But when you've got 10 million people moving into the country undocumented, and the cost of living continues to increase, more importantly, the cost of rent, and the housing options continue to shrink because the market is too competitive, it is important to note that we have less of a chance of succeeding in a world where it's open season, where you have all of these undocumented people. We are always going to be the ones who fail. Black people have to realize the country was not built for us to succeed. It was only built for us to build it. I'm going to say it again. This country was not built for us to succeed. It was only built for us to build it. Black people are some of the greatest consumers in this country. Also, the ones who essentially built it. Our free labor is what helped catapult America to where it became the land of the free, the home of the brave, an opportunity to succeed, where capitalism got to thrive. I'm pretty sure 100% profit was real good back then. So why is it that we believe in a country willing to give a check to every country, every race, every kind of person except us? Why do we believe that's the country we can survive in today's climate? We have to stop making immigration an issue for us. It's not our problem. Immigration is not our problem at all. Job competition and wages continue to decline. And it's happening to black men at a great rate. Look, like the immigrants are going to take the jobs that we don't want to do for the cheapest price. And we know our worth, so we're not going to take jobs that should pay us X amount of dollars for less money. We working harder to make less just to compete with a whole nother job market, with a whole nother group of people who not paying taxes, although taxation is theft. We're losing. Latinos have surpassed us in home ownership in this country. That's a fact. We're losing. You got to make about $100,000 a year to buy a house in the city of Madison. The median income for black families is $50,000. $56,000 to be exact. Can't buy a house on that. You got to have the credit of a 700, near 800 to get what you need. It's impossible. But your leaders continue to tell you that this is racist, letting all of these, not letting everyone in. This is making people have an ID to go vote. That's racist. Black people, I know we got IDs. When we talk about voter ID, we're not having a conversation about black people. I don't know a lot of black people that don't have their ID. We be having our shit, yo. That's not for us. Why are we making it about us? You know what's for us? Affordable housing. I'm not talking about that socialist shit either. I'm talking about like the economy is good, so the rent in the hood not $1,500. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. Childcare. Yo, they think about our households. Our households, our conditions. We don't have. Our families are not structured to take care of family. They got the abuelas over there. Our grandma's still working and shit. Flipping bodies and wiping ass. Our conditions is not the same, and we can't continue to put the issues of other people on our backs. And we have to stop letting the political structure tell us what's important to our community. And the only reason they continue to get away with doing that shit is because we are not present. We are not telling them what's important to us. We are not reading these policies. We are not present testifying on these pieces of legislation. We are not calling our legislators. They don't fear us. When you don't do your job at work and your boss call you in the middle of the day, man, you got to take a shit when you see that call, because you know it could be good or bad. You see it, hey, you see your boss calling your phone, you got the bubble guts. Because why is my boss calling me at 12 o'clock in the day? My boss never calls me at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Shit'll scare you. Lawmakers do not feel like that, yo. They don't have that same fear when we call. They staffer got a script of some bullshit ready to feed us. If we even call. That's a problem. And we should address that problem. The income you need to buy a house has doubled since 2021. You need $108,000 a year to buy a decent crib. Now you could probably go find some bullshit, fix it up. If you got the skills, if you a carpenter, you know what's going on, you can make that work for yourself. You're not making that work on no regular income, on no nice crib in the community where your kid can be safe, where you can walk to school, they can stand at the bus stop and not get popped at. Ain't no way. It's too expensive to live out here. And that's why we got to stop dealing with the feelings of things. It's facts only. The Wisconsin governor, Tony Evers, came out and said that the gas prices is more expensive this Thanksgiving, and they not. They was cheaper. He just saying shit. And I'm pretty sure it was a lot of Democrats who saw that, or Tony Evers fans, or, Trump Republican haters, or Republicans who hate Trump, who read that and said, see, this shit not working. And he got away with it. And the Republicans can say something about it, but they suck so much at messaging. They do such a great job looking like the dumbass racist motherfuckers that the Democrats want them to look like, that no one's going to listen to them when they correct them. Corey's an important person. She gets calls. It's tax season, baby. Listen. I don't want anything to get lost here. Politics is evil on both sides. But it seems like there's one side that could care less about how people really feel. And there's another side that wants to control how people feel. I will let you decide which one is which. But I have my feelings about both of those sides and where everyone stands on them. I've often been someone who believes that politics goes as far as the people want it to go, right? So in 2020, a guy gets shot, a guy dies. How do you get the people riled up about that? Here comes Black Lives Matter. Here comes this push for equity and equality. And the people eat it up. And I was one of those people who felt like, great job. We finally have a voice in all of this. Racism exists, boss. Like, I don't care what you say. It's a lot of racist shit that go on. I've been in politics for 10 years. I've seen racist things. I've been at conservative events and I've had racist things said to me. I've been at Democrat doors and I've had racist things said to me. Racism exists. So when 2020 was happening, I was hyped. Me and my niggas finna get outside. We fists in the air. What? We loud. I was outside. Wasn't nobody breaking shit. That wasn't us. All of my guys that was outside, they wasn't outside breaking stuff. That was them crazy white people with their heads half shaved, hair dyed blue, pimple faced, pair of checker Converse. Y'all know who y'all is, man. That was y'all. That was them crazy white folks throwing bricks at people's shit. Ain't none of my homies do that. None of us. We got home training. We might have not had no daddies, but we had some mamas, damn it. We had some home training out there, boss. Okay? What does the Democrats do with that? They blow it up. They weaponize it so much so that it's harmed their politics today. Don't nobody want to hear this shit. But this is why I need black people to be focused on what's important to us, because what came out of that was a lot of resources. Money got spent. Endorsements was made. Promises got made to diversity, equity, and inclusion. That wasn't reparations to black people. Because a lot of that DEI, who did that go to? I'm trying not to get canceled in the first episode. But I'm telling y'all something. And I keep telling people this. DEI was not for black people. It was not for black people. Black people, don't be mad that DEI is gone. Did black people benefit? Some probably did, yeah. Yo, DEI was for gay people, the gay community, a lot of other races and ethnicities, groups who felt harmed and marginalized, but was never picking cotton or locked in chains or separated from their families or their countries. At the most, if you know how to get it out the mud, you got you a little PPP. Hopefully you got away with that. Hopefully you knew what to do with the PPP. DEI was never for us, bro. That was just their way of cutting checks to the motherfuckers they thought they needed to give money to. Thank yous and handshakes and back scratches to corporations. A lot of that money probably funneled back into a lot of these campaigns. But DEI was not for us. And all of that outcry from 2020, all that work we did to get people to understand, see, look, this is what we deal with in this country on a regular basis. This is not just George Floyd or Breonna Taylor. This is a lot of us dealing with the injustices of the world every day. We went out and marched and we protested, and the same amazing activists that went out and organized probably can't get a damn job right now. I know people that should be millionaires off of this movement, but they have nothing. But Suzanne, who used to be Bruce, got a 6-figure job somewhere. They giving these motherfuckers art grants. I know real niggas that's been painting and drawing money signs out of lawns for years, while my guys ain't getting no art grants. Shout out to my man Cordell. He doing art right on MLK. Out of a studio, man. Somebody go give him 100 bands. Go take care of that black man. But see, all of these initiatives, all of this emotional bullshit that the political left, the stuff that they push, is just to get you to come outside. Right? It's just to get you to come outside. They ain't got nothing for you. And they never will until we decide to speak up against the promises that's not made, that's not kept. Period. Reparations, we should have them. The government never cutting us a check, bro. We should just start to become okay with that. Your politicians, your favorite politicians keep promising you reparations. They know they're not going to get that shit. Not the way that they asking for it. They're not finna cut us no checks, bro. But they going to keep telling you that because they want you to come out and vote. We not finna be legal. I know. I'm sad too. Marijuana is a great medicine. I think it's a great recreational tool. I look at it like some people look at an ice cold glass of beer. I do. It's not happening. Not in the state of Wisconsin. It's not happening. Stop letting people tell you different. They're not legalizing that shit federally. Stop letting people tell you different. There are some things we just have to be okay with. We have to come to grips with. Don't allow your political leaders to guide you emotionally. Look at the facts. The groceries is too high. That's a fact. Your rent is too high. That's a fact. That girl is really sexy and you want to hit that raw, but it's going to be too expensive to have that kid, and that's a fact. Plan B's is $50 now, boss. We was getting the Plan B used to be Plan A. Did they have Plan B's back in the day, Corey?
No comment.
Plan B's used to be Plan A, Corey, man, and we don't got that 50 ball though. It's not. You can always tell what way the economy going when you see the miscellaneous shit that was always the same price. It's not the same price no more. You can't even bust raw affordably no more. And that's a fact, dog. Look. Shout out to Jasmine Crockett. Shout out to Mandela Barnes, because we're going to talk about that next week. Shout out to all my homies on the north side making money unemployed. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my homegirls doing hair and sweets illegally with no cosmetology license. You know what I'm saying? Much love to y'all. Stop telling people to come with their hair washed already, because that's illegal. And if you're going to break the law once, you shouldn't break the law twice. You heard? This is Politic Poppy, and this is Politics as Usual.